But then I spot his red knit scarf caught in a branch near his hiding place by a toppled pine tree, and all hell breaks loose as he gives into the chase. He ducks behind a strand of maple trees, but I spot him at the top of the hill, trying to find a shortcut out to the street. "Hey you, stop," I shout, which is stupid, of course, because this only makes him run faster. He stumbles on a branch, almost falls, and I finally gain on him. Reaching the back of his coat, I grab on, tackle him to the ground, and we somersault together in the leaves. I roll him over, pin him down on the dirt with my knees on his shoulders, and get a good look at him. Huge blue eyes stare up at me at the bottom half of his face, covered by the flipped-up collar of the plaid coat. A strand of long blonde hair sneaks out from under the wool hat. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Wait a minute. This is no guy. It's a girl. "Sorry," I stammer, all embarrassed, until I remind myself she's a thief, even if she's a female with long blonde hair and pretty eyes. I mean, come on, who steals a guy's clothes? The girl blinks at me, dark lashes, eyes that look like familiar somehow. "Hank," she says. "Nessa?" My voice comes out something like a squeak. Stunned, I scramble to my feet away from her, and with her hands freed, she yanks the hat off her head, pulls the collar away from her face, and I see her huge smile. "Hank," she cries out. She's throwing her arms around my neck, practically jumping all over me. "I found you." Nessa is here, hanging off my neck, here in Concord, Massachusetts, and I'm too startled to even convert any of the questions in my head to coherent sentences. I register that she's blonde now, after the makeover Magpie ordered, and that although she's still pretty, her hands, face, and clothes are filthy. "Yes, you found me," I say at last. Here you are, and I have so many questions about that. I shake my head to clear it, like shaking off a crazy dream that makes no sense. "But you know there's a guy standing down there shivering in his underwear, needs his clothes back." She grins, but lowers her eyes like she's at least trying to make an attempt to be ashamed. "I'm sorry," she says. "Look, just give me his clothes," I say. "I'll tell him you got away, but you dropped all the stuff, okay?" She shrugs, then nods. "Okay, Hank." Before I can scoop up the clothes, she grabs my hand, her blue eyes searching my face. "Promise you'll come back." She's squeezing my fingers so hard it actually hurts. "Please?" "Of course I will. I promise." Nessa helps me gather up a denim shirt, black jeans, a pair of cowboy boots, and a backpack, and I jog down to the hill where the guy is pacing around in the clearing. With a limp, his arms are wrapped around his chest, shivering even harder now, his lips turning blue. Close up, I can see the guy is older than I thought, probably in his 40s. He has thick red hair on his chest and back almost like fur, but it obviously is not enough to keep him warm on a chilly spring morning in New England. "The kid got away," I tell him, "but the good news is that he dropped your stuff. Here." He grabs a bundle of clothes, and he's still cursing like crazy under his breath. Not that I blame him. He looks so funny. I have to bite the inside of my cheek to keep from smiling. "All I wanted to do is come to Walden Pond and evaluate Thoreau by taking a morning bath in these sacred waters like he did," the guy murmurs, his eyes still blazing. "But then some asshole runs off with my gear. I bet that never happened to Thoreau." Evaluating Thoreau, eh? I look at his drenched boxers. They're pink, covered with red and white hearts, like joke underwear his wife or girlfriend gave him for Valentine's Day. "Nice boxers," I almost say out loud. As if reading my thoughts, the guy blushes and pulls his pants on right over his wet underwear. "Okay, then," I say, hoping to spare either of us from further embarrassment. "Sorry this happened to you. Have a good day now." I turn away, still fighting a smile. "Wait," he says hastily, and I turn back. Thanks. You did a good thing." "You did a good thing. A good thing. Well, that's nice for a change." I grab my sleeping bag from behind the boulder, stuff it into a pack, and swing it on my back before heading up to join Nessa. I find her right where I left her, sitting cross-legged on the ground, ripping bark off a dead branch. "Hank," she says, nodding as if to reassure herself. "You came back." "Of course I did." She sighs, a deep inhale and exhale that racks her small body. Then tears start rolling down her face, leaving tracks in the dirt. Damn, I hate to see a girl cry. It just makes me want to find the person who hurt her and beat him up. "What's going on, Nessa?" "It's Jack," she says in a whisper. "He's hurt, bad." "Where is he?" She scrambles to her feet and grabs my hand with icy fingers. "I'll take you." Holding my hand tight like a little girl, Nessa leads me through the woods and down the path, then over fallen trees and a new spring undergrowth to a hiding place on the other side of the pond. We came to Concord to look for you, she says, anticipating my questions. You left us plenty of clues, like your name, Henry David. Jack remembered that. And he remembered the book you showed him, Walden, and how you said it was a clue to who you are. It wasn't hard to do a little research, and I found out where Walden is. We figured if we hung around here long enough, you might just show up, which you did. But why did you steal that guy's stuff? Nessa's face is dirty, but a red flush shows through. I just happened to walk by and saw clothes and thought maybe there was food in that pack. We need clean clothes, and we're hungry. Do you blame me? I shrug. It doesn't matter now. Plus, it's not like I can judge stealing after all the laws I've broken the past few weeks. So why did you leave New York, and what happened to Jack? Nessa pulls a black hat down over her ears. Things got bad with Magpie, so we had to get out of there, she says. He was really mad after you left, even though Jack told him you tried to stop him from leaving. But he was pissed at both of us. I thought he liked us, that he wanted to take care of us, but soon he got so mean. He started getting meaner and meaner. He started hurting Jack almost every day, then me. Magpie was hurting you? I asked Nessa. She nods, not meeting my eyes, and all I want to do is take Magpie by his proper English neck and squeeze the proper English life right out of him. The worst was a couple days ago. Magpie sent Jack to collect a debt from one of his clients. The guy wouldn't pay, but when Jack came back empty-handed, Magpie didn't believe him. He got so mad, he beat Jack up. I think he broke his arms. Tears streaked down Nessa's dirty cheeks. I was so upset. I went to the client myself and made him give me the money. I don't want to know how she managed that, but I don't ask. But then Jack and I ran away. There's no way either of us was going back. You mean you stole the money from Magpie? The way we saw it, he owed it to us, every penny. Somehow, I don't think he'd see it that way, I say. A realization dawns on me. Hey, did you come looking for me at the high school? Did you ask a lady janitor about me? Yeah, Jack thought he saw you walk up into the school. I didn't think the guy looked like you, but Jack's not always so clear on stuff these days. So it was Nessa, dressed as a boy, and Jack who came looking for me and talked to Sophie, not Magpie or any of the scary guys who work for him. I'm safe. Maybe we're all safe. Jack was in so much pain the whole day. Nessa leads me off into the path to push through some thicker underbrush. She swipes at her nose with the end of her scarf. I had to give him something. Like what? Something for the pain. Jesus, Nessa. They were pills. I don't know what kind. Magpie gave them to us, and we were going to sell them, but Jack needed some. Shit. This keeps getting worse. I have no idea what I'm going to do when I finally lay eyes on Jack. We skirt around a dark oak tree, and I see her in their hiding place under the ledge of a huge lichen-covered rock. Jack is in there, and at first I swear he looks dead, lying on a bed of brown leaves, his worn army jacket laid over him like a blanket. Sleeping with his mouth open, he looks 6 instead of 16. Nessa kneels next to him on the leaves and rests his hand on his shoulder. I drop my pack on the ground and stand looking down at them, both feeling helpless. Jack, I found him. I found Hank, she says softly. Nothing. He doesn't even twitch. Come on, Jack, wake up. She jiggles his shoulder, but he's motionless. We lock eyes. Did they make it all the way here to Walden only for Jack to overdose and die here in the woods? Nessa shakes him harder this time. Fuck. Jack jolts straight up, his eyes bulging. We rear back, totally taken off guard. God damn, Nessa, he moans, falling back on the leaves. That's my sore arm. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry, she murmurs, tears flooding her eyes. I found Hank. I brought him here. Jack holds his arm close to his chest like a broken wing, his eyes screwed shut against the pain. Then takes a couple deep breaths before looking up to acknowledge my presence. Hey, ugly, he says at last, like the first time we met. And I almost smile, but his voice is weak and slurred, and there's a purple bruise on his cheekbone. How are you feeling, Jack? He winces. Terrible, man. I think my arm's broke. Magpie? Yeah, I know. Nessa told me. He needs help, but here we are, way off the path in Walden Woods, too far from the road for a car to get in. And there's no way I'll be calling an ambulance or alerting the park rangers. Can you eat, Jack? You hungry? always hungry. I reach into my backpack and pull out the food I brought along for breakfast. Here, you're even skinnier than the last time I saw you. Eat this. I hand him a couple of glazed donuts and open a container of apple juice. He wolfs the donuts down like he hasn't eaten in days. Nessa eats one and lets Jack devour the rest. Okay, Jack, this is what we're going to do, I tell him. Nessa and I are going to help you walk out of the woods, and we'll find a place for you to sit, closer on the street. Then I'm going to help you get help. No, Hank, even though he's sick and hurt, there's no doubt Jack would attack like a rabid dog if he felt cornered. Why, we didn't come all this way for you to get us sent back to our fucking father. He scratches his face like he wants to peel off his own skin, and Nessa starts to whimper again. I pull his hands from his face. Jack, relax. I promise that won't happen. I have friends here, and I trust them. One's a nurse. She helped me when I was sick, and she'll help you. We don't have a choice, Nessa whispers gently to Jack. We can't go back to New York. We have to trust Hank. Jack gives me a long look that flickers between suspicion and hope. Okay, he says at last. I stuff my backpack under the rocky ledge and make a mental note of its location so I can pick it up later. Then together, Nessa and I help Jack to his feet. I pull my own coat over his shoulders as he cradles his injured arm. His other arm I drape around my neck. Three of us stagger through the woods near the beginning of the path to Walden Pond, not far from the parking area. Stay here, I say. I'll be back with friends as soon as I can. Don't go anywhere, promise? The two of them sit down on a stone wall near the beach area of the pond. Jack stares hollow-eyed into the shallow water, clearly surrendering to whatever might be next. Right. Where else are we going to go?